and see if that kills it. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
What in the hell?
I don't know.
Why would... And anytime I would try to rejoin a call, I couldn't hear you guys unless I hit mute. And as soon as I hit mute, y'all would show up again.
That's weird.
That's a new one on me.
I don't. Have we ever had this specific issue before?
No, this is a new one.
Yay.
Okay, well, we're back now. And chat, well, of course you guys can hear them.
Yeah.
Because I can hear them.
Oh. Yeah. So I guess how do we sound now?
I guess if suddenly y'all get to the point where you can't hear me, say something in chat, like, or in the Discord, like, immediately. Because
Okay.
I was like, are you two gonna say anything? There was just nothing. I'm like, guys.
Well, no, but after a couple minutes, after like 2 minutes, I
Listen,
asked.
you jerks! I gave up some prime dashing time to do the show.
After 2 minutes or so, I was like, "Oh shoot, did I get kicked off the call?" And Mike was like, "No, I can hear you." I'm like, "Okay, great." And then I'm thinking, Chewie's being really quiet, but I don't. Maybe he's dealing with some stuff on the streaming side, you know?
Yeah, I was like, well, he said he had to go start the dryer. No, wait, he did that and he came back.
Yeah, that was a while
What's
ago.
going on?
Yeah. And then you were like, "Guys," and we're like, "Oh no, oh no."
Lord. Well, now that it's late o'clock, what the hell? Let's start the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was gonna try to do the work jam into a song again, and I completely forgot because we had technical difficulties. I completely forgot to do that. Oh well. I guess. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Jam to the world.
There you go.
The dorks
There you go.
have come.
Let Earth receive
These nerds.
these nerds.
So hello everyone. Welcome to the Mana Pool. We have suddenly, just all of a sudden, when I decided to start the show, we had massive technical difficulties that are as yet unexplained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it's real weird.
yeah, like we'd been on the call for like literally an hour with no problems, and we started the stream with no problems, and as soon as I hit record, all of a sudden I couldn't hear the dorks and they couldn't hear me, but they could still talk to each other. And we don't know why. It was very strange.
Yeah. We've had technical difficulties in the past, but this was just
Yeah,
weird.
this was bizarre. It's like I wasn't in the call, but when I would hit mute, I could hear them again. But we all restarted Discord and now it works, and that's something. So, hello. This is episode 667. So we went from Satan to Santa. Because this is our Christmas episode. And Al just dropped 100 bits and said Happy Christmas, or Happy Christmas and all other holidays. Yeah, and Festivus for the rest of us.
Does this mean that next time we'll be covering Santana?
Ooh, let's hope so.
Yeah. I'd love me some Mexican Revolution.
Because that's Santana. I was thinking Carlos
That would be
Santana.
Santa Ana.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Santana is the guy what did, Smooth and...
Oh, he's got the killer beat. Yeah, yeah. No, I like him better too.
Oye, como va.
Oh, no,
Anyway.
I've got a CD of Santana stuff, and I really didn't think it was him. So okay, all right.
Yeah, okay, shut up. So
Yep. Yes, sir.
So yeah, this is our Christmas episode. Dirk will be with us shortly. We hope. He actually probably should have been home by now, so hopefully he's all right. He joined the call earlier from his car and sounded like he was in a bathroom. So I was like, why don't you just wait till you get home? So hopefully he'll be able to join the call and that'll just work. Hopefully. So, yes. Hello. We'll just skip the introductions. You know who we are.
Yep.
So, yeah, we did the Halloween episode before Halloween. And I had the idea, hey, why don't we do one for Christmas? And Mike was like, I don't even know what we talk about. And I'm like, literally the same thing we did for the Halloween episode. And there was a pause. And Mike was like, oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Hey,
Hey.
it's a Christmas miracle. There's a Dirk.
It happens occasionally.
Oh my God, it is Dirk. And we can hear him and he can hear us.
Yeah.
And he's not in the bathroom or in his car. Dirk, by the way, I want to borrow your car if it has a bathroom in it, because that's sweet.
That is pretty awesome, yeah.
I say, drive down and I say, hey, can you slide over? I need to take a dump.
Oh, wasn't that gonna... Whose apartment was that gonna be?
That was the one-room apartment.
That was I described my studio apartment as a one-room apartment.
Oh, yeah. That was a good time. It's like it's not big enough for 4 chairs, so one of us is gonna have to sit on the toilet. Anyway, so now Dirk is here. We can do the Christmas episode for real.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Dirk, we just got started. We had some massive problems all of a sudden.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dirk, it has not been a good last 10 minutes or so. So,
Damn.
but we're good now. So let's get into it. So for Christmas, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't even know what to do. So what do y'all want to talk about? How about when do you open presents?
All right. In my family, nobody, unless there's some, and this is true when I was growing up, and it's true now. Unless there's something you're opening that needs air holes or needs to go in the freezer or whatever, nobody opens presents before Christmas morning. I know some families have traditions where you do it the night before, or you pick one or whatever. But in mine, strictly traditional, you wait until Christmas morning. And I remember very distinctly being a kid and waiting until mom and dad would tell us when we were allowed to get up. And usually it was like 6, and we'd be like 5, and they'd be like 6. My parents were very good at negotiating because, they're parents. But it was crack of like dawn that we would be getting up. And mom had to go check and see if Santa had come, and then we were allowed to come in. But Christmas morning is the short answer to your question. None the night before or the week before or whatever. What about you guys?
In my immediate family, Christmas morning, Mom, I guess just because she prefers just relaxing in the morning, she tried to get us to start doing it Christmas Eve, like her family did after a while, after most of them had grown up, and there wasn't, a Santa who had to sneak in while everyone was asleep. She was finally able to talk Thomas into agreeing that we could open one present Christmas Eve, because Thomas is all about opening things Christmas morning as a family. Yeah, that's what we do. One Christmas Eve, because Mom was able to make a deal with Thomas to get at least one, and then the rest Christmas morning together as a family.
Nice.
Mine was, you didn't open presents until the morning, and it wasn't until everybody was awake. And the holdout was always the parents.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
They always were like, no, we're sleeping in. And so we'd get to gawk at all the presents, because Santa would... There were the presents that were wrapped, but then Santa would drop off presents that were not wrapped.
Yes. Yeah.
And you get to stare at that and gawk at it. And it's like, oh, look at what Santa dropped off. What's in the presents has got to be just as good. So that was... That's
That
what
was
we
hard.
enjoyed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, in our house, the unwrapped Santa stuff was fair game. For whenever you got up, that was fine. There was one time when um, this Thomas was still pretty young at this point. He woke up at like 4 o'clock or something ridiculous, and went downstairs, and some stuff was out, and he started putting together a Lego set. And I guess Dad had heard some noise, or just needed to get up, and he walked downstairs, and it's like, son, go back to bed.
Look at all this great stuff.
Yeah, he was sitting there on the floor, 4 o'clock in the morning, putting together a Lego set. It's like,
Hmm.
So it's interesting you guys both mentioned, unwrapped gifts from Santa. And my parents, and how we do it with Sam. And even though she's 12 and she's figured out the whole thing, we've continued to do this just, as tradition is there are presents from us and they're in one paper, and then there are presents from Santa, which is usually the bigger, more expensive stuff, and they are in separate Santa paper. And we were
Yeah.
doing that since she was a little kid.
Yeah, apparently
So
Santa will wrap stuff for you if so requested.
yeah,
Which
so
I guess my parents never requested that because my Santa
right.
stuff was never wrapped.
My Santa stuff was mostly wrapped, and I would love to have a discussion later about, hey, what are some of the highlights you've had for presents that meant the most to you? But I remember distinctly one Christmas, which was we lived in St. Louis for 1 year. It was 10 months. It was kind of a rough time. No one in the family really took to it very well. But I loved Christmas that year because I came downstairs and Santa had brought me Earthbound for the SNES, and it was brand new. And Santa had actually set it up in such a way that it was unwrapped, and there was like a display of it. So that was really cool. But most of the time, Santa's stuff came wrapped. So for me, it was more the exception to have it unwrapped.
So yeah, for
What about you,
me,
Chewie?
back when Santa would visit, I'm pretty sure I remember doing this at least some of the time. They would let me pick one Christmas Eve, and then I'd open the rest on Christmas morning. But now that we're all grown ass adults and whatnot, like we always just bother. Well, I start bothering Mom as soon as we're done with dinner. I'm like, "Oh, it's open Christmas," and Mom goes, "No." I'm like, "Mom, it's open Christmas," and she goes, "Nope, gotta wait till tomorrow." I'm like, "Mom," and after a while, she'll be like, "Okay, fine, I guess we can open Christmas," and I'll go, "Yay!" Like that's now. That wasn't when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That is every year for the last like 10 years. I'm 42.
Yeah, Chelsea started a tradition with our family, which is you get to open one present the night before, and or not that I don't think it's not that you get to open one. Is there is a present that's given to you the night before,
Oh.
but I know that see it's been a year since it's gone on, and so it's a different tradition than I'm used to, but it just is a present is given to you the night before, so you kind of have a taste of what to expect.
there was one year when Thomas picked out one, and Mom was like, you sure you don't want to pick another one?" Thomas was like, "No, I want to open this one." I was like, "What about that one
What
over there?" I was like, "No."
was it?
So he opened it
What?
up, and it was an accessory for
Yeah.
a Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering, if it was one of those ones where like it's a game or something for a system that the system is in the big box, and they're like, you need to open the big box, and the kid is like, I want to save that for tomorrow or whatever. So
Hmm.
what was your guys' strategy? Because I am always, and you've eaten with me before, I am always a leave the best bite for last kind of guy because I want it to be the last thing I taste. And with the presents, if I can kind of feel out which one is the big thing, I usually try to save it for last. That's me. But what are your guys's? What have historically your been your approach to that?
Mom always directed me for what to open in what order, so
There you go.
I would just be
That way
like,
you can't
okay,
mess
now
it
what?
up.
This one, okay.
So we did some Christmases, just the five of us, my two parents and my two siblings and me, growing up, and then we did some
Hold on.
Christmas.
No, the math checks out. Okay.
Okay, well, I don't blame you. Math is not my strong suit. That's why I married an accountant. But there are other times where, because we were really close to mom's side of the family, we would go over and spend Christmas Eve with them and wake up and do Christmas morning. And then it was Grandpa, because he was always kind of the patriarch. He would pass around the gifts, trying to make sure everybody kind of went in turn, so you didn't have one person opening up two or three or four at a time. And I wouldn't it would not have surprised me. I don't recall this. It would not have surprised me if my grandmother or some of the aunts were like, "Hey, do nudge." I can't say that's what happened, but it wouldn't have surprised me. We were always real close. I always liked seeing my cousins, but because it was a 6 hour drive from where we were, the Christmas, I remember this very distinctly. The Christmas that I got the Game Boy, we did Christmas at home first,
Mhm.
and that 6 hour drive was the best 6 hour drive I had ever had because I had a Game Boy. I played the heck out of some Castlevania Adventure 2 and Tetris.
Oh, thank God you added the two in there. I was gonna be like, I'm so sorry.
I never got the first one. I've seen people play it, but I've never played it. I don't think.
Yeah, two is by
So
far the best of the Game Boy Castlevania. So awesome.
it was great, and some of the music was so awesome. I would like load a stage and just have the headphones in and just let the music play. So
So would you say that you were jamming?
I was jamming. So I guess question for you guys, like, did you generally spend Christmas with your immediate family? Were there ever Christmases that you saw extended family, or was that more like in the days to come? Because like I said, sometimes we did it on our own, sometimes we did it with everybody else. And now that I am grown up and married, generally, because Carrie's mom, as long as she worked, and she just very recently retired, she worked for a hospital and she could not get Christmas off. She just couldn't. So the tradition is they come down around the 26th or 27th and stay until the day before New Year's or so. Um, so for you guys, both growing up and as it is now, more of an immediate family thing, or do you ever see the extended family?
Back in the day, we would always spend Christmas at one of the grandmothers because both grandmothers lived, within like 15 minutes of each other. So we would always go do the multiple Christmases, one at this one and one at that one, and all of that. But since I guess since I haven't been a kid, actually, we've stopped doing that, and now it's just me and the parents, with occasional drop-bys by local family.
Mhm.
But that's gotten less as all of their kids have gotten older, and we stopped buying presents for them.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
There might have only been a couple times that I can think of when we were somewhere else on Christmas Day, somewhere else besides our house, and it was when my brother and I were very young. Um, we almost always go up to the mountains to visit with some of my mom's side of the family for a few days after Christmas. There have been there have been a few times here and there over the years where we've gone down to visit dad's side of the family in Florida, but that's a much longer trip.
Makes sense. Yeah, I do think distance does play into that a bit. For a long time, uh, for literally the first 10 years of Sam's life, we were the only family, the three of us were the only family in this state, on either my side or Carrie's side of the family. So that somebody had to travel all the time if there was any travel involved, and most of the time that just meant, Skype calls, or like I said, Carrie's family coming down, or occasionally mom and dad might come down for Christmas. But since Sally lives in Vegas, they didn't want to do that every time, so they split a bit. What about you, Dirk?
Um, we are the only Trimbles that live in North Carolina, so we never saw family unless they like came out here. But we never flew out or anything like that. In terms of Christmas or anything like that. So all of my recollection of Christmases have always been uh, just at the house.
It's
Nice.
easier that way.
It is easy, and as you get older, you really appreciate the stuff that is not super complicated. Favorite Christmas decorations as a kid, I always had to be the one to decorate the tree. For me, it was my favorite thing. As an adult, I will set up the tree, I will do lights, and for some reason, there are a couple ornaments I'm like that mean a lot. I am happier. I am just happier to let, especially Sam, do the decorating the tree. I want to have a hand in it, but I don't know. It's changed a bit for me, but I still like to do lights. This year, because of the ongoing saga with our bathroom being redone, I only put up our tree on Monday or Tuesday, and I've not done anything else. So I want to get up more before Christmas, and especially because Carrie's family is coming down, I want to have some stuff up. But wasn't gonna do it today. Do the outside stuff today. Man, it was raining buckets and buckets. But what are some of your favorite Christmas decorations or stuff that you do every year? And does your family hide a pickle in the tree?
I'm sorry, what?
The answer is no on the pickle.
I had never heard of this, but Carrie's family lives in Pennsylvania, and this is a tradition. If anybody in the chat has ever heard of this, I'm curious to know. But they they use a pickle that's an ornament, and it's green and it looks like a dill pickle. But I guess it's an old I'm not sure if it's a Moravian tradition or just a German tradition, but they would hide a pickle in the tree because it's a bit like a needle and haystack sort of thing. It blends in, and the first person to find it gets to open a present or something.
According to
We haven't.
Wikipedia, Christmas pickle is a lesser known Christmas tradition for some Americans. Blah blah
There
blah
you
blah
go.
blah. The finder receiving either a reward or good fortune for the next year.
There you go.
So you can get an
Um,
extra present or, good luck for next year or whatever. That I've never heard of that. Apparently,
you're welcome.
it says it's commonly believed to come from Germany, but this is probably apocryphal. Oh.
Well,
Uh,
the area her family lives in is heavily Moravian and Germanic in influence. So
Yeah, I think Ashley told me about it. I think she said she had heard about it from members of her mom's family,
hmm,
um, who are of German ancestry on one side, but they were out in the rural farmland area of Illinois.
for me, it always kind of brought up the thought of like, well, what if nobody found it? Kind of like the whole Easter egg thing. Like, oh, we miscounted the eggs and it's been a week and something smells, sort of thing. But again, we've just seen the ornaments that are made up to look like a pickle. So
Yeah, that I mean, I don't. My understanding is that it's always kind of ornament or decoration. It's not like an actual pickle.
although sometimes it can be, according to this.
hmm,
Okay.
somebody's hardcore about it, I'm sure. So.
Somebody. It's always
But
going to
anyway,
be
I'm
that one
sorry.
guy.
I kind of interrupted a bit. So, but Dark, any sort of favorite decorations that
Here you
you
go,
you
chat.
really feel like either meant something to do to you, or that you thought was kind of unique, or that you just really love to put up, either as a kid or now?
Well, now there's usually we get an ornament each year from Chelsea's family that is something symbolic of the year,
Okay.
like first year in school, or usually something that is symbolic of what's happened that year. So,
God,
like,
I'd hate
we
to see
had
what
an
2020s
ornament.
look like.
Well, that was just. I think that was the one where it was a uh, homeschooled ornament of I survived. I survived homeschool 2020 was essentially what the ornament was and everything.
Now, see, I hate to keep interrupting. Well, I don't hate it, but I don't want to be rude. But you keep reminding me of stuff. Um, that's close to a tradition Carrie and I started actually when we were engaged, I think. Every time we go on a trip, if it was not like a day trip, but anytime we went on a trip anywhere, be it Disney World or a place we've never been, like Asheville, um, we would get an ornament to try to remember it. So cool to see somebody else doing something similar to that.
So like whenever each one of our kids were born, we got an ornament that year. That was
Right.
uh, Trevor, like first baby was
You ever
was
get?
the ornament we got that year.
Have you gotten any of the what are they, the precious moments ornaments?
No, she gets my mother-in-law gets them from like they're personally made sort of ornaments.
Ooh.
I don't know where she gets them from. It's some sort of online store that does that, but I don't know what the name of it is.
Well, that's cool if you can get them like customized. We have done, and Carrie's mom has done for us some of the precious moments ones, but because those are really nice and very fragile, we sometimes put them up, but more kind of like keep them safe. So
Hmm.
Keep them secret.
keep them secret, keep them safe.
So I like the way we went from what Christmas decorations do you do to favorite Christmas decorations without an actual any warning. Like when I was growing up, we would always have a tree. Like we have a big ass fake tree because real trees are too much of a pain in the ass. And yes, they are. Some of you just don't mind it, but they are a pain in the ass.
I did real trees forever until 2020, and we found a fake tree that we liked, and I love it so much. You have no idea.
See?
So much. Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep going.
And we would put all of the decorations on it, and Mom has, stockings and various little Christmassy things around the house. But outside, sometimes we would put up lights, but not every year and not very many. Like one of those houses that did like the outline around the gutter, and that was about it.
Hmm.
Yep.
And for me personally, now that, I'm an adult, I don't do any Christmas decorations because I'm a bachelor living by myself and I don't especially like Christmas. So there's none of that here.
Understandable.
Yeah, when I was living by myself here, I feel like I would do progressively less and less each year. Like or not each year, but like the first few years, I would get my little tree out and put a bunch of ornaments on it, and then after a while, I would just throw a few ornaments on it, and it was just the tree which had lights already on it, and then there were some years where I didn't bother near the end.
Yeah,
But
now
yeah,
that I don't live with the parents and we don't have any kids that like come visit around Christmas, like I don't even think Mom put up a tree this year. Usually she has like a little table, like a card table, and she'll put like a little fake tree on it, or a little fiber optic. It's a fiber optic tree. Yeah. And yeah, no, I don't even think that's a thing anymore. Because the tree is always, for the younger kids. And since the old man's old and grouchy and I don't care, Mom just goes, eh.
Yeah. Mom and Dad still put up a real tree in the living room. She likes it a lot. She likes decorating it. Thomas had to do a lot of the decorating this year since Mom hurt her arm recently. So she was just kind of, he told me about it later. They were just kind of there in the living room, and he was hanging up some stuff, and she would direct him for a few things.
Is it weird that Devin doing his mom's voice popped into my head for that specifically?
I can hear it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Let's see what else.
Man, that taking it back, man.
So sorry, it's a guy we went to college with, Chad, who would always do. Apparently, if you've met his mother, an impression that sounds literally nothing like his mother.
But it's memorable.
It is.
Dang, I haven't thought. You said that, and I immediately was like, yeah. And then I'm like, holy crap! It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it was like, you're probably the one of us who's spoken to him least recently, and you still remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas miracle. So how about any sort of other like Christmassy traditions? We know Brian does like the weekend of baking.
That's correct. While listening to Christmas music, that baking day, decorating, and then the usual like Christmas day. But I think a thing pretty unique, not unique to us, but that we try to do is the baking day. It has nothing to do with the fact that my last name is Baker. It's just Carrie likes to give out the cookies and stuff we make to people at work. So it's also a neat little, helps us and something for her to give to somebody else. Gonna have to do another batch of the oatmeal. They are gone.
But no raisins.
No, none.
Even though
Who
raisins
else?
are not devil's food,
This
as
is
established
not.
last week.
Yeah. This is slightly off topic, but I just gotta know who likes eggnog.
I do.
Good, me too. Although I'm super snotty about it. I really like a recipe that we got from a neighbor. I tried what the grocery stores call eggnog, and I'm like, what is this filth? It does not taste nearly as good to me. So I gotta make it myself.
Gee, imagine that. Something sold in the store is not as good as something homemade. Weird.
Weird, right? Sorry.
I have
Anyway,
a thing of Southern Comfort eggnog in my fridge right now.
Yeah, I have several nice, cozy memories of just like hanging out at my parents' house. As an adult, just hanging out at my parents' house around Christmas time, and just sitting there later in the evening, just watching TV or something with Mom, and then at some point she'll get up and I'll hear the microwave run for a little bit, and she'll come back and she has 2 little mugs of some warmed up eggnog with a splash of rum in it and then some ground nutmeg on top. It's just really nice.
aw, making me choke up a little bit. I still take mine virgin, but
Baby. What Mike didn't say is she's been doing that for him since he was 5.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to put kids to sleep.
Accurate.
But any other traditions?
Yeah, like we don't really have anything. Really?
we would go to an evening church service on Christmas Eve. It was rare that we went to an actual midnight service. Usually it was something like between 8 and 10, depending on what the church was doing. And if the service was early enough in the evening, we would go out for Chinese food afterwards.
Nice. A man
And if
of
it was later in the
culture.
evening, then we would just, go out for Chinese food at some point earlier. That, for dinner on Christmas Eve.
I've
That
heard
was
of
a
the
very
Chinese
consistent-
food Christmas Eve dinner tradition from other people, and I find that hilarious.
I can totally get behind that, but you know me and Chinese food.
I would say you could eat
No, I
Chinese
mean-
food all the time, though. That doesn't count.
I literally could. But my church, which I love, they have this habit that they do their Christmas Eve service at 5 o'clock, and usually my family eats fairly early, like as early as 4:30 if we're all starving, but usually between 5 and 6. Well, 6 isn't super late for us, but you know what? You know how hard it is to find food places. They're called restaurants. Sorry, food places. Um, that are open after 6 on Christmas Eve. There's a lot fewer than you've had. So at least last year and maybe the year before, I had this fancy French place. It's called McDonald's. Super swank because it was one of the only places that was open. And honestly, I feel a little bad for the people working there. Hopefully, they're treated well. I tried to be super nice. Um, but yeah, like a lot of places close between 5:30 and 6 on Christmas Eve. So I could see doing some Chinese food. That sounds good. Might do that on Saturday if I can talk him into it. But I'm probably going to talk him into doing Chinese on my birthday. So that might be a bit much.
Oh, and then after having dinner out on the way home, in the car, we would drive around the neighborhood and maybe the neighborhood next door, looking at Christmas lights.
Nice.
For a little while, we were doing Tanglewood.
Oh, cool! I haven't been out there yet.
I've done that a
Tanglewood, for
couple
those
times.
that aren't the four of us, is a...
Oh,
what the
right.
hell is Tanglewood?
It's
Clemens.
Community nearby.
it's
that has
a
a
it's a
lot.
light show.
Yeah.
No, I meant,
Yeah.
like, what is Tanglewood itself? Like, I don't even know how to describe what it is.
It's
So
just
it's a place you drive. It's like a neighborhood, like big, fancy. Like the houses there are easily $1 million each.
Okay,
And
here we go.
They
Also,
all
like,
decided that
it's-
they were going to do a light show.
It's a park. It's Tanglewood Park. But nobody
out in the
calls it
woods.
that.
Yeah.
But it's the people who live there do these very big, ornate shows, like light. Like when you drive by a house, they have all these cool lights out. But it's
Bas-
everybody there does
Yeah.
it, and they charge admission for you to
Basically,
come out and drive your car through their neighborhood.
Basically,
their
yeah.
lights.
Even
I
though
feel
it's
like dark.
a park, and I don't think it's the residents, but...
Yeah. I
They're
don't-
all in front of houses, so
They are. I
yep.
don't know that I've seen too many houses out there.
But
But basically-
you can see the houses behind all the lights.
Basically, you stay in your car and you drive down a road, and there are elaborate light sections on either side that depict Christmas scenes. Is that? I feel like
Yes.
that's the most accurate description I can give.
But yeah, we did that for about 4 years or so, and then the traffic just got to the point where it was not worth it. And the thing is that they do this for starting the day after Thanksgiving and run till like mid-January.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same every night in
Yeah.
terms of the level of traffic.
Yeah, the Tanglewood Festival of Lights is... I think I've only ever been once, and it's because someone else dragged me. I think it was Lex. Because it's just a well-known fact for those of us that are local. that it's not worth the time and energy. Unless you have kids that really want to see it, I avoid that side of that town intensely.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. It's not a neighborhood, though. Don't listen to Dirt. I've just been informed by someone lurking in chat who texted me. It's not a neighborhood. What is he talking about? So
Yeah,
I mean, the
I've
section
never
we
seen a
went
house
through-
back there.
You could see houses, so there was one where there's a lake.
okay, Dirt. We get it. So-
I'm wondering if Dirk has been to the same part that we have.
I don't think he has. I
But-
think he's wandering around elsewhere.
Somebody's just like, that's Tanglewood.
And
And
still
Dirk's
had to
like,
pay
okay.
for it.
Yeah, there's just a
Sure,
dude
man.
standing outside who's like, give me $10. Dirk's like, okay. But
Dirk's like, is this Tanglewood? And he's like,
yeah.
sure. But no, but to go off of that, I have seen other similar setups. There was one in Pennsylvania when we were visiting Carrie's family. So you stay in your car, you drive around, and these are set up displays of Christmas lights that form scenes. Basically.
Yeah.
As a kid, we would usually, as a tradition, we would usually watch at least one of two of Dad's favorite Christmas movies. Mom always liked It's a Wonderful Life. As kids, we were like, it's black and white, it's kind of boring. But Dad had two favorite ones. One was A Christmas Carol, and it had to be the George C. Scott version. Had to be. And the other was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Dads love that movie.
It's true. So that's a good segue. What are some of your favorite Christmas movies or sort of like we did with Halloween? Your
Sure.
favorite Christmas movies or Christmas specials or whatever. No, not Die Hard. I didn't even get to finish the sentence before Die Hard popped up in chat. All right. I have a theory.
I
I'm going to
liked
derail
Die
us for a
Hard.
second. I have a theory
Okay.
about this. Is that, and I was one of these people. Is it people who go, oh, what's your favorite Christmas music? And me, or movie. And me, who has really not liked Christmas since I was a kid. Like, I just kind of hate Christmas. I would say Die Hard because it was not a Christmas movie, but it took place at Christmas. And at some point, like, that became the popular thing to say. But as I've gotten older and not trying to be edgy, and anyone who says Die Hard is your favorite Christmas movie, you're just trying to be edgy. Shut up. You're not clever. Because it's not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place at Christmas. It is not about Christmas. It is not anything to do with Christmas. There's just a tree. All right? It is not a Christmas movie. It was pointed out to me in the Discord. You could say the same thing about Home Alone. But Home Alone at least has like that family happy Christmas vibes. But Home Alone is another one that takes place at Christmas, but it isn't about Christmas necessarily, except for like the last 30 seconds.
I mean, it would be really hard to have the movie without Christmas. But Die Hard could take place anytime.
Exactly.
Don't forget the ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was not in the Discord. That was Kristen that pointed that out. Terribly sorry. But, like, Gremlins is also not a Christmas movie. It just is a movie that happens at Christmas. I love Gremlins.
I forgot about that.
It is a brilliantly messed up, bizarre-ass movie. But it's not a Christmas movie. Neither is Rocky IV, because apparently the big fight at the end of Rocky IV takes place on Christmas Day. That's not a Christmas movie. Quit trying to be cute and pick a goddamn Christmas movie. And this is coming from me, who hates Christmas. You know what's the best Christmas movie? A Muppets Christmas Carol. We're done. End of story.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't believe that, then you're trying to be edgy,
Die Hard.
or you haven't seen it yet, or you just don't like the best things in life. Also, if you have Disney Plus, the restored version of Muppet Christmas Carol is there. You just have to go to extras and it's there. They've added in the song that was cut years ago that people have been trying to get them to put back in for years. They finally found the masters and got them back in the movie. But you have to go to extras to watch it. It's only like an extra 4 minutes, but it's a whole song and like plot point
That's cool.
that's been missing all this time. And it just came out like last week. So there you go. When you go to watch Muppet Christmas Carol on Disney Plus, don't just hit play, go to extras. You are welcome.
Okay, so there's Christmas Vacation. There's A Christmas Story. There's I haven't seen this. I haven't thought about this in a while. Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Bill Murray,
Scrooged
yeah.
is another one that's really good.
hmm And then for a while, my family liked to watch Jingle All the Way, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Which is pretty good, actually, as much as I
Yeah.
hate to admit that.
Yeah, it is good. It's legitimately entertaining. It's a good Christmas movie.
A lot of people like Nightmare Before Christmas, which is only like partially a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there it was. Al said it before I could. He goes, "Bitch hit me with a toaster." Which is my favorite line from Scrooge. Well, Reginald Vell Johnson. Okay, chat just said Reginald Vell Johnson recently came out and said that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, though. He's allowed to be wrong and edgy, too. It's fine. Plus, he's biased.
Bruce
He was
Willis
in
has
it,
said
so
that
that
it
doesn't
isn't.
even count.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis has said
Yeah.
that it is not a Christmas movie.
Right.
See?
So if Bruce Willis has said that it isn't, I'm not really sure what leg you have to stand on.
But yeah, A Christmas Story became a classic because some channel, was it TBS or something, started playing it for 24 hours around every Christmas.
I don't know if it was. Yeah, it was because some TV station started playing it around Christmas because people had accidentally let the licensing for it lapse and it was in the public domain or something like that, or just something where you didn't have to pay money to run it on your station.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was TNT. Okay, thank you. I knew it was one of those Turner Network shows or networks, but yeah, I had always like heard of it, but I'd never actually seen it until then. A lot of people have added Elf as like a new like Christmas classic that they love, but I despise Will Ferrell being Will Ferrell, so I've never seen it and never will.
I am not a big fan of A Christmas Story. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people also just don't like that one for some reason. I find it fine. Like it's I'll watch it, you know. Of course, there's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original animated one. Cause you're a douchebag, Mr. Grinch.
This is also the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Oh yeah, with the poor little tree that everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only part. I haven't seen that in so long that that's the only one I remember. Or the only part of it I remember is the poor little pitiful tree that, you know, at the end they decorate and yay.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I guess.
There's also the part where he gets, well, the whole time he's just frustrated about, he can't, just trouble finding the meaning of Christmas. It's become so commercialized. And he even gets upset at Snoopy decorating his doghouse for a neighborhood lights and display contest. And I remember one year, I was watching on TV, I think it was on ABC or something, and like right after it was over, they aired their episode of this little miniseries they were running. It's like the great Christmas light fight. It was like some decoration competition. It was like, were you people? Did you not learn anything from what we just watched?
That's pretty
Apparently
funny.
not. Learning stuff is hard.
Again, there's the Al mentioned Rudolph, and there of course there's Rudolph. There's also
Mm-hmm.
Frosty. All of those old animated or stop motion ones that would only play once a year. Santa Claus is coming to town with the ginger ass Santa Claus.
I liked Rudolph as a kid. I tried to watch it as a like 12 to 14-year-old, and I'm like, I can't stand this. And it's never been that appealing to me anymore. Do you know how long that movie is?
It's long and it is
It's
slow.
long.
Oh,
And I
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Try going back and watching it. I promise you.
Hang on, I'm
You'll
looking.
I'm really
be like,
surprised. Keep
Go ahead.
going. Sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say I'm really surprised it was able to hold my attention as a kid with how long it is and how slowly it moves in some places.
I think it's the magic of childhood or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah.
I can't. It's only 55 minutes long, which I guess on TV would be an hour and a half.
Huh. Feels longer.
I would guess because on TV with commercials, it's probably a full hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
Probably. And also, didn't they usually show like Rudolph and Frosty and Santa Claus is coming to town all at once?
At least Rudolph and Frosty together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is what it was called, right? Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think I might have only seen that once ever.
Yeah, this is the one with the ginger ass Santa Claus. It always tripped me out that Santa Claus was a fellow redhead. I feel like we're missing something obvious.
We already talked about the Grinch.
We did Grinch, we did all of the kids' shows, we did Charlie Brown, we did Home Alone, Christmas Story.
Definitely left Home Alone.
What else?
There's a million versions of A Christmas Carol. And I
Oh,
guess
that's the
because
other
of my
one,
dad-
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Mm.
Oh, and there's the Muppet one, right? I think. People seem to really love it. I think it's okay.
I will come to your house.
It's good. It's just, I don't know that it's the best.
Well, you're allowed to be wrong. It's fine.
Good to know.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I feel like there should be something else. We've only mentioned like a million of them, but yet there still should be something else.
Oh, the other
There's
one that I've never
Hallmark
seen on
movie where
purpose.
the lady from the big city goes to her hometown and meets a guy and falls in love.
I hate you so much. Given that
What
that
was
is
that,
easily
Chewie?
3 dozen movies that you just rattled off.
Oh, at least. I thought of Mr. Deeds personally.
Yeah, the other obvious one is It's a Wonderful Life, which is the other one that I haven't seen on purpose. Which is apparently Christmas because it takes place at Christmas and it's about, Christmassy things.
Mom loves that movie. I think it's all right.
Yeah, like I've never seen it, and at this point, like I've intentionally never seen it.
What was it?
Good.
It's a Wonderful
It's
Life.
a Wonderful Life.
Oh. Did you guys mention The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah. Briefly. That feels to me more like a Halloween movie.
See, I think they do. It's a Halloween movie that just sort of goes all the way through to Christmas. You just never take it down.
Like
Yeah,
a
I think what it is, it's an autumn and winter movie.
Yes.
Because, like, you play it for Halloween and then you play it again for Christmas. And you probably watch it, like, for Thanksgiving because it's in between the two. But it doesn't feel like a Christmas movie to me. And don't get me wrong, like, I love it. It just doesn't feel like a Christmas movie to me.
See, Home Alone.
Dirk had to step away for a phone call, in case you're wondering
Yeah.
why Dirk is repeating things we've already said. Ooh, and Christmassy updates to video games. That's something that's relatively new, but like in Mortuary Assistant, for instance, there's a Santa corpse, which
It's pronounced core.
no, not with the E on the end. It's not. But like, and I know that Rogue Legacy 2 has some kind of holiday event which is now live according to Steam. And Overwatch, it seems like, used to do something for Christmas, but I can't remember what.
They would do characters, and you would do like it was sort of like the Halloween thing where you were supposed to protect a gate, and then like little snowmen would attack the gate, and you had to shoot them.
Oh, they would have the game mode. Right. I forgot they always had a winter thing. I'm thinking of like for April Fool's Day, I think it was one year, they put googly eyes on everything in Overwatch, and it was hilarious. Like Hanzo's dragons, his ult had big ass googly eyes on them, so it was the funniest death you'd ever had. And I was trying to remember if they did something like that for Christmas, but no, they had a full on like event for Christmas and skins and whatnot, not like Santa hats on everything. So okay.
That's like most mobile games I play is, oh, holiday, must have event, to FOMO and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the type of games you play, though. The gotcha games.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Here's a character you've seen before, but they have new abilities and they're wearing a Santa hat.
And there's a 1 in 10 billion chance of getting them.
Yeah, in some games, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, WoW used to
might
have
be a little high. That might be a little high, Chewie. Let's not get our hopes up here.
WoW used to do the seasonal Winter's Veil, which was, in essence, it's Christmas, but with things like you ran a dungeon and you could get little Santa hats on your characters. There was one where you had to go save Rudolph. It was a daily. You get presents from, in essence, Santa and little things like that. Oh, you had to go take out the Grinch, because that's who took Rudolph.
Naturally.
And it was a big old wampa looking thing.
Damn you, Grinch, is nothing sacred.
You're a douchebag. Mr. Grinch. I think the Grinch would probably be a nicer dude if there wasn't some asshole singing about what a jerk he is all the time.
That is a non-zero factor, yes. How would you feel if everything that was said about you was, man, you know that guy? F that guy.
Hey, if we want to know what that's like, we could just ask Elon Musk. I mean, what? So I've mentioned several times that I hate Christmas. Should I expound on that? I guess I should.
Yeah,
I mean-
you can go ahead.
I'm gonna. So
You can't stop him, so here we go.
yeah. Okay. So I love giving people gifts. I really do. Like, especially if it's something that like, oh, you know what? Such and such would love this. I'm gonna get it. But and I love doing that because it gives me all the endorphins or whatever when someone opens a gift that I've given them and they like it. It just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. To a lesser extent, I love receiving gifts, but obviously, like, who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
if you're being untrue to yourself, you might be like, I hate that, but no, I mean, stuff, yay.
Yeah. But, like, the problem that I have with Christmas is that a lot of people treat it as, like, a societally required exchange. Like, okay, for example, a friend of mine just recently said, "Oh my God, I just found out that such and such got my kid like 4 presents. I only got their kid 1 present. I need to go find more presents for their kid." And I'm like, that right there is why I hate Christmas. Like,
I can see that. I can see that.
I despise the. I guess now that I'm
Capitalism.
older, I can say I despise the whole capitalistic side of it. But when I was younger, it wasn't that. It was the obligation to buy people things, which bothers me. Like, if I want to get someone a present, then I do. But I don't want it to be expected. Well, you better get such and such something. I don't even know such and such. Like, so here's a gift card. Like, meh. And I don't know. It just, that whole side of Christmas bothers me. I think maybe that the Charlie Brown special and How the Grinch Stole Christmas worked on me better than they wanted it to. Because, like, as we discussed on the or as I mentioned on the Halloween episode, I'm out of the 4 of us, I'm the only atheist. So, like, the whole Jesus side of things is nothing to me. Like, I don't care. No offense. But, like, I do believe in the whole, goodwill towards men and all that.
Yeah.
I think we should all
Yeah.
be. I think we should all be nicer to each other all the time. That's why rule 2 is don't be a dick. But, like, I don't
Yeah.
like I said, the obligation. Well, such and such is gonna get me a present, and because it would be awkward to be like, oh, thanks. Well, bye. Like,
Yeah.
so that's why ever since, and it doesn't help that I'm also broke, like, and have been, for most of my life. I don't have extra money. I bought presents for literally 3 people, and I can't pay all the bills this week. Like, I gotta wait till next week. Like, and those are 3 people that I wanted to buy presents for. So, like, that leads into it. That's gonna shape, my opinion on this sort of thing. But to me, giving a gift is something, I don't know, it's something personal. It's not something that I should be expected to do. Which is why ever since, I got out of college, I have explained to everybody, do not buy me a Christmas present. Because I'm not buying you a Christmas present. And I've opted out of Christmas with pretty much everybody for a very long time now.
This is not a new thing for Chewie. And
It is not, no. And, like, it's easier this way. Like, there's way less, like, there's enough stress over the holidays for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy where, how many times have you been like, oh my God, I didn't buy a present for, Steve. And because Steve got you something and you don't know what to get Steve. So you get Steve. Does Steve drink coffee? I think Steve drinks coffee. So here's a $20 Starbucks gift card. All right, done. And that just feels like fake to me.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know. Like I bought presents for mom and dad and like, my new lady friend, and that's it. I guess technically I got the kid something, but that's only because I like the kid. Which, yeah, I've just been reminded. You bought the kid something too. Shut up. Uh, that's just because I really like the kid. Like, that's all. So, yeah. That, but that's why, but because of all of the capitalism and whatnot, get, that's the part that, people focus on. Like, I love all of the, well, I used to love all of the secular bits of Christmas. The lights and the tree. Okay, I've never really been a huge fan of the tree. And even the Christmas music. On the rare occasion that I'm forced to listen to Christmas music, I do kind of like it, but it has to be after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I love Christmas music, and somehow Carrie and Sam have thought I hate it. I don't, but Carrie's favorite Christmas station plays Christmas music. They've started on like the 7th of November, and I'm like, no,
Yeah, didn't
no,
it start on
stop
the
right there.
first this year?
It's stupid. Anyway, keep going.
It is. It's stupid. Like, Christmas has been pushing further and further and further forward in the year because of, capitalistic Christmas is big business. So, like, Christmas stuff was up. There were Christmas lights up down the street from me 2 days before Halloween. I'm like, y'all are just trying to get your house egged. Like, like if I bought eggs, I considered it. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't eat eggs because they're nasty. So,
Yeah, I like Christmas for family and everything, but I have increasingly developed a disdain for Christmas music, mostly because it's there was one year that um I don't know what was happening in terms of us moving or traveling or something, and Chelsea loves Christmas music. Like, she honestly could listen to it 365, 24/7, all that.
Hmm.
And I was done. Even today, like, she played it so much that even to this day I'm done. I love Christmas music when it's like, let's listen to it for 10 minutes. If it's longer than 10 minutes, I'm done. I'm just like, I will turn this off. I do not want to listen to this anymore. Because it's the same 10 songs the radio stations play. I'm tired of Mariah Carey's version song.
when did she become a Christmas meme? By the way, that just happened in like the
I
last
don't
couple
know,
years, right?
but I'm about
Status,
tired
yeah,
of her
last few
song.
years. Mm-hmm.
And what's really sad is one of the guys on the hallway. Um, he took it upon himself to decorate our hallway. Like, he put lights around my door.
Oh, like at school, like at
Oh
work. I
yeah,
mean, work school.
yeah, yep. He did it on our entire hallway. He put up things. He put up banners on the wall. Like, he went out for Christmas, and I'm just going, don't you have other things to do than to decorate my door with lights?
I feel a little bit presumptuous. I like Christmas, but that does feel a little bit like on your door without asking you first.
Oh yeah, he did it to all four of our. There's four of us. I always refer to us as the four corners because there's four of us that on this little hall section, and our doors are. It's like we all have mirrored rooms, and yeah, he took it upon himself to decorate our doors, to decorate our walls. Now, fortunately, he didn't get to decorate my wall. like outside the wall outside my room, because we had done periodic table projects, and they definitely covered my entire section of the wall. And all I have to say is, thank you, chemistry kids. You saved me.
Really does
Like,
not feel
I
completely cool. And I like Christmas, but
and I think that's my problem is I like Christmas. I like it for the reason of goodwill towards men, getting to spend time with family, getting to get into the reason for the season and everything. But there are people who just they go a little too overboard with it. As Chewie had
Yeah.
said about the capitalism portion of it, there it's become such a a money maker and a thing to sort of get your name out there that I'm burned out on it.
Yeah.
I get that. Since Chewie brought it up and Dirk kind of hinted that he was a little sick of it, but is there a particular Christmas song that everybody either really loves or really can't stand anymore?
So
My fa-
on
my favorite Christmas. Sorry, go
on
ahead,
December
please.
1st, and this was brought up in chat. Uh, Everyone is playing a game. I don't know if you're all aware of it or not. I just had to explain this to my mother actually a few days ago. Everyone begins playing on December 1st a game called Whamageddon.
Yes.
And you lose Whamageddon when you hear Last Christmas by Wham. Thus far, I am still winning, and it's the 22nd. I don't know how I'm still winning, what with me having to go into restaurants all the time that always have Christmas music playing this time of year, but I'm still playing. And I get really pissed off when I lose, which pisses me off in a different way because I love Last Christmas by Wham.
I think Taylor Swift's take on it is really good too.
Ooh, I haven't heard hers.
I mean, I think it's Taylor Swift. It might just be someone who I can't tell the voice difference. But
That's racist.
I don't think Taylor Swift is a race, but well, I'm sure she is. So, so my favorite Christmas song, hands down, is Silent Night. I don't know what it is. It speaks to some part of me that I just really like. It also doesn't hurt that it's one of the only Christmas songs slash hymns that I know most of the words to and can sing. But I just like it. But if we're going for the more secular route, probably either Carol of the Bells or, yes, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's got a good beat. What can I say?
Mine is straight up Carol of the Bells.
Oh, yeah.
Sarajevo by Trans-Siberian Orchestra is my favorite.
Chewie and I went with Lex and Carrie many years ago to a Trans Siberian Orchestra concert at the Greensboro Coliseum.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was
I've
awesome.
been to see them, I think 3 times. I think it was like 3 years in a row. They put on a really good show when they, change it.
let's see.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like, for something that I would hear in church or something. I really like First Noel. That's good. That's my favorite Christmas hymn. Besides that, um, the Rat Pack stuff, like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, their takes on Christmas songs are always fun to hear on the radio. Um, if I never hear Christmas Shoes again, too soon. That song is just, I can't believe that ever got radio play. It's
Um,
just
See
so
now
What is that?
cheesy and depressing.
the
It's
Christmas shoes.
Yeah, it's some cheesy and depressing, heartstring tugging song that
It
it's
is.
not appealing at
I
all.
don't even know this one. I
Th-
have to
That's
look it up.
that's the funny thing, Mike, is that I was just thinking to myself earlier this season, man, I haven't heard Christmas shoes this year because I guess it just hasn't seen the
Huh.
play that I feel like it has in the past.
A
Yeah, I
song
guess we
released
finally gave up on it.
in 2000 by the band New Song and later covered by the country group Three of Hearts. Maybe that's why I've never heard it. I don't know if I've ever listened to new Christmas music.
Hmm.
Pretty sure new Christmas
Just-
music can eat my butt.
Just the stuff that's been around for about 5 centuries.
Yeah, dude, mom, okay, back in the day before I learned to hate Christmas, mom around, after Thanksgiving would always bust out her Christmas tapes. And my favorites were Anne Murray's Christmas Wishes, which everyone's mom owns, I think. and we would sing along, man, like to all of them. And the Christmas with the Carpenters,
Oh,
because I don't know if anyone knows this, but Karen Carpenter was like an angel come to earth.
oh yeah.
Aaron Carpenter. I don't know. I'll have to look her up.
You'll
And-
recognize her voice when you hear her.
You probably will, yeah. You're like, oh, her. What else? Those are the only ones that come to mind. But I know she had like a collection of Christmas tapes, because back before CDs we had cassette tapes. Children.
Yeah.
Chelsea's favorite is Mary Did You Know?
I like that one. It's another one I haven't heard in a while.
There are some of them that are just not good. Again, they just feel cheesy.
Now, on Baking Day, we have the Alexa just play Christmas music, and you tend to hear some of the same things more than once. But at one point, they played Alleluia by that guy.
Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
and
Santa
I've never.
Christmas for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. I've never considered that an actual Christmas song. I'm not saying it can't be. I just.
I mean, it isn't. It happens to have the word hallelujah in it, but and that's it.
Okay. For the record, I agree with you. I just was like, this doesn't feel right. I loved the song, so I just kind of let it go. And I hadn't heard it in forever.
Not a Christmas song.
Okay. Die Hard's not Christmas music. Alleluia is not a Christmas song.
Correct.
No, I'm talking about Let It Go.
What?
What? I
Brian
don't
said Let
understand.
It Go, and I was like, no, that's not a Christmas song.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I'm lost.
See, there was
Anyway.
a popular song from the movie Frozen.
I'm familiar with Frozen.
He
I'm
heard
just
you
not
use
sure
the phrase
how-
"let it go" and was attempting to make a joke, riffing on the fact that you said "let it go."
The fact that I use the words "let it." Oh, all right.
Yeah, see, it's
That's
funny
correct.
because it's a reference to a thing that everyone knows about.
Is that how humor works?
Yes.
And the fact that we're explaining it makes it hilarious.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sure it
laughing
does.
over here hysterically. Thank you, Mike.
I am sure this is exactly what humor is.
Also, Winter
on that
Wonderland.
And on that note, least favorite Christmas song. If I hear Feliz Navidad one more time, I'm sorry. I counted the other day. Do you know how many words it has? 15. I would have been shocked that it had 15 words in it because they're over and over again. And you know how I got to 15? If I counted aha as 2 words. I don't like it. I don't. Maybe I'm coming across as too militaristic. I don't care for it.
Businesses beware. Feliz Navidad plays while Brian's in there. Arson.
I mean, maybe not arson, but you're not getting my business.
Oh, Lord. Brian will be in line about to hand over the card, and all of a sudden, Feliz Navidad. Brian like, give me that card back. I'm out.
I mean, if it's the second time I'm hearing it since I've been in there, then yeah. First time, you get a pass. Second time's not a mistake.
Yeah. You know what?
Least
That goes
favorite-
for all music. I'm with you on that.
Least favorite song for anybody else.
I kind of hate
If you
Feliz
have-
Navidad now all of a sudden.
If you have one. If you don't, then maybe you're a kinder, gentler soul than I am.
I kind
Dark
of
hates
hate
all Christmas music.
I kind of hate all of the slow, like the ones you got, like Silent Night and The First Noel. I really hate those songs. I need something like with some beat, some poppy, something upbeat and happy. But I'm also, you know, a filthy atheist, so.
I think my problem it's the music when it's played 15 million times, and it's the ones that are just always being played is my problem. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Ugh.
What?
Never heard I want a hippopotamus for Christmas?
Not
It's a
enough for it
little
to
kid
stick in my
singing
head.
It's a little kid
You-
singing a humorous song.
All I want for Christmas is... Or,
It's
all
a-
I want-
I'm kind of with Dirk on this one. Think of like I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus, but more annoying.
Oh,
Now
God.
the Jackson 5, "Mommy Kissing Santa Claus," that's a good song.
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
say
hear
it was
that one
wrong.
often
I'm just
enough,
saying.
so-
I'm just saying more annoying.
Dude,
Yeah.
the
So-
Jackson 5
Mo-
doing anything is a good song, though. That's not even fair.
Yeah. But most any other version of that song, no.
Silver Bells can go to hell. I do kind of like I'll Be Home for Christmas. I don't know why.
That's yeah. The jazzy White Christmas. I always liked that one. Oh, someone mentioned Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey in the chat. Oh my god.
I don't know that one either.
Sam found out about that song, and my life has never been the same. And I don't mean in a good way. Eeyaw, eeyaw.
Mhm.
Of course, her favorite part of Love and Thunder was, you guessed it, the screaming goats. So
I mean, that's not fair. The Screaming Goats were everybody's favorite part.
Was Sam the one that introduced that to my kids?
Dominic the Donkey?
can't.
Yes.
I think she
can't
might be. This sounds familiar to me now.
Fight, fight, fight.
Really? I don't. I mean,
I'm
I'm not gonna
pretty
say
sure
no.
I remember
I just,
Brian being like, or Dirk being like,
I think she did.
I'll be sure to pass along your thanks to her.
I think we need more
Or how
Halloween
much
music.
it means to you.
This is a whole section we didn't get to have for the Halloween episode, and that makes me sad.
Do you think we need more Halloween music? There's
'cause-
like a
There's only like 3 songs.
It's like Monster Mash.
Exactly.
That song from Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then like
when I'm
a
This is
random
Halloween.
spooky sound.
Yeah.
when I'm that's a good point, that just ambiance. But I like ambiance music at Halloween. When I'm sitting at the bottom of the hill passing out candy, I'll sometimes have the speaker set up and just play grinning grimming
Grim
what
Grinning
is it?
Ghosts.
Grim Grinning Ghosts. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, so I didn't mean to derail us with Halloween songs, but like we need Halloween music because We didn't get to have this discussion at all in the last episode, and now I'm sad. Yeah, I love you guys, but I didn't get you a Christmas present.
Yeah, I mean, it's been rare in the past when I've gotten a present for someone who was an immediate family, or that I was, dating.
I honestly can't remember the last time I received a Christmas present from. I guess it'd be like Chelsea and I don't really give each other presents because we just sort of get stuff that we want for Christmas on our own.
That's part of being an adult.
I have the
Oh,
hardest
just
time
so.
buying anything or doing anything for my parents for Christmas for that exact reason. Because if the old man on like December 18th decides, oh, you know what? I want something other, he's going to just go buy it. And I'm like,
Yep. It's like when Steam has a sale on, like, hey, here's a game you really want. And it's for like 80% off. And be like, yeah, you're right. Merry Christmas to me.
yeah, Dirk, I tried to find you something on your wish list just because, no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, as we get older, it's more of like, oh, I really need this thing. Do I wait until? Well, I mean, like, obviously, if you need it. But I mean, like, I kind of want this thing, but I don't need it right away. Do I wait until December, or do I just, buy it? Chances are, more of the second.
Yeah. Whereas the parents getting me stuff for Christmas for the last however many years, it's been like work related stuff. Like on Black Friday, my main monitor died. So, and the parents had already asked, hey, what do you need for Christmas this year? And I'm like, nothing really. And then my monitor died. I'm like, hey, my monitor died. I think I need a new one. And the old man was like, all right, I'll meet you at Best Buy. And so this was my Christmas present. I'm looking at it. Like they bought a large chunk of the guts of the computer. I never did name the Beast 2.0, but because I had to overhaul it because the graphics card died, and so I needed something else. And to get a graphics card that was worth half a damn, I needed a new motherboard, which means I needed a new processor. And then before that, I got the monitor that died. So yeah, I'm easy to buy for. But like, I even like this isn't the thing I usually like talk about, but so like when I'm on websites that have like bundles of games or like create your own bundle or whatever, if
Right.
while I'm flipping through them, I'll flip through the games and go to Steam, and if I see person on your friends list has this on their wish list, and if it's a person that I've interacted with at all recently, I'll be like, oh, and I'll chances are if it's like a create your own bundle, I'll just add that in and then send them a code. I did that, I don't know, for a few people last week before, whenever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a thing I publicize, just what, here, I saw this and it was on your wish list, so here's a copy of it. Because it'll make you happy, and it helps me get stuff I wanted for cheaper too, so everybody wins. So it's stuff like that. Like that ties back into the I enjoy, giving people gifts.
Right.
Yeah. And I think a common thread of something that we've said this whole time is whether what you believe in or what you hope to get out of Christmas or anything like that, all of us are big believers in the whole goodwill toward men, and be be nice unto others, you know, because when you are, everything good stuff comes around, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
everything is just better.
yes,
Yeah. And for me, that's the true meaning of Christmas. I don't I don't fool with the Jesus side of things, and I don't fool with the capitalism side of things. That's really all that's left. Just be decent to each other. Please stop treating retail workers like they're beneath you.
I get so tired of going into stores and seeing the signs that just say, please be respectful to our workers and whatnot as we try to navigate these difficult times. I don't hate that they put those up. I am furious that they have to. What kind of world is it where so many people are are just so horrible to each other that we have to say, "Hey, don't be a dick to everybody." I don't get it.
Uh-huh. People are just
I
super
read an
impatient and don't have
I,
sufficient compassion.
I read an article in the early days of the pandemic about a an ice cream place opening up, and it was one of the earliest places to open up because it was at a time when that was unusual, and you these and the story kind of focused on, there was like a 16-year-old working there. It was her first day there, and it was their first day open up, and you would think everybody would be like, thank God I can go out and get ice cream or whatever after weeks of being away or whatever. And they closed down after a day, and the 16-year-old that started there like quit because the people were so horrible. And I'm like, what part of going out and getting ice cream, voluntarily going out and doing this, and just being a decent human being, we're going to keep this PG-13, a decent human being, do you not understand? Like, I don't, maybe you're mad at the world or whatever. Okay, well, great. Lash out at, this 16-year-old girl that just started working in an ice cream place that you're there to spend money to get ice cream for. I I don't understand people sometimes. And maybe it's because of my upbringing, because I was always taught, you be nice to everybody until they give you a reason not to. And even then, you don't be like, oh, flip the switch. You still try and be the bigger person. And that was grained into me. And I don't understand people that don't do that. So, yeah, sorry, I feel like I got in a soapbox there. But I think all of us have said something we appreciate about this season and Christmas is the attitude of be good to other people. Take this time, be charitable, and do well for others. And I like that. And I think we need more of that, especially now. You wouldn't think it'd be that hard. You think this would be a great time to pull together and be like, we just need to get through it. And yet some people dot 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 are invested in strengthening divisions versus strengthening bonds. But and they're just horrible in general. But I'm glad to be friends with you guys and to have a similar outlook on life. Yay.
Yeah, I understand that the holidays are stressful because you've got societal obligations to buy Christmas presents for a bunch of people you don't know or like. And so you're stressed out and you have to go to this damn store to buy something for frickin' Steve. God, Steve sucks. And then while you're there, there's a long line and you just slowly get mad. And then you get up and you're like, hey, I need to do this. And they're like, I can't do that. And it's all you can take. And you just go, and you want to rip into them. But you know what? They've had a worse day than you have because they're working retail. And they have to deal with people like you all day. So, it's called empathy, which is a large problem, with the state of this country since, I don't know, 2016, is that empathy seems to have fallen by the wayside for large
Yeah.
swaths of the population.
Agreed.
All you had to do was wear a mask and stand 6 feet away from people. It wasn't that hard, and you had to go and make it a whole thing about my rights. You're an idiot.
I think I showed you guys the when I was vacationing in Maine, I took a picture of the bumper sticker. Thought about buying it, but I don't have any bumper stickers on my car that says I could get the direct quote, but basically what it is rights and are not. You know what? I'm gonna look it up because I'm gonna butcher it. No, I'm not gonna. Oh, cool! My photo album was in the main section. Awesome. This will actually only take me like 5 seconds while I stall instead of 5 minutes. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm right here.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for the picture. I'm not talking to you.
Fair enough.
It's not in that part of Maine. It was earlier in Maine. Dang it. Here it is. Equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you. It's not pie. And this thought of rights.
Yeah, you really were about to screw it up.
Yeah, this thought of rights and happiness in general being a zero-sum game. Like if I'm giving it to somebody else, it's less for me. I don't even. I just.
Yeah, it's one of those things that makes no sense. Like,
Yeah.
I have taken to randomly, like if I see someone wearing, like while I'm out dashing or something, if I see someone wearing a shirt. Oh, actually, I dropped off a meal yesterday, and the lady opened the door, and she was wearing a sweatshirt that had the Spider-Man logo from Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
And I was like, huh, I love your sweater. And you would think I just handed her like a $50 bill. She was like, thank you. And like, that didn't take any effort on my part.
nope. But she appreciated it.
Yeah. And yeah. And like yesterday, oh my God, yesterday. You guys, okay, before the show, I was telling the guys about this grocery order from hell I had for DoorDash. Okay, a part that I didn't tell you is that when the guy at the register went to pick up a 12-pack of Coke and move it from here to the cart, it ripped and fell on the floor. And he was like, I think he was new. He seemed completely lost. And like the manager dude who was bagging goes, all right, just gather that up, put it over here. He's like, what do I do with these? He's, don't, I'll take care of it, you just don't worry about it. He's like, okay. And I was like, you want me to go grab another one? He's like, nope, I got it. And he ran and grabbed another one and brought it back and put it on the cart. But he put it on the bottom, like at the front. So as I was going to my car in the parking lot, it jumped off, unbeknownst to me, and I hit it. Because, it fell off forward. And I hit it with the wheel, and I punctured one of the cans because there was this thin spray just firing out of this cardboard box. The whole time that I was putting stuff in the car, like the rest of the stuff in the car. And I went back in and I said, and I didn't say, hey, stupid, you put this in a bad part on the cart, so it fell off, and now look at what happened. I was like, hey, man, this one's got a hole in it. And at that point, it had finally stopped being a fine spray and was just sort of bubbling. And he goes, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. And he grabbed a bag or wrapped it around it and took it from me. I was like, should I just go grab another one? He's like, yeah, dude, I'm like, I got it, man. Walked over, grabbed the 12-pack, came back to show him that I got it. And he's like, oh, you're good to go. I'm like, I know. I just wanted to say thank you again, man. And I could tell that he was having a stressful time, and he really appreciated that. And it would have been so easy to just be a dick. And not towards him. Like, when this happened, I yelled out in a parking lot of Lowe's Foods. I yelled a single syllable swear word that I'm not going to say because there is no swearing on the Manipool.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm
It's like
pretty
crying in
sure
baseball.
it was just a never-ending stream of cursing just the whole time. I was on the phone with Amanda, so I could check with her, but I'm pretty sure it was just this never-ending stream of cursing about how bad this order had been, because I'd been at this point working on this order for an hour and a half, and yeah. But when I went in, I was friendly to the dude because they've got it bad enough. And then look, that's all you got to do is just understand someone else's perspective other than your own. Don't be a Karen. And if your name is Karen, then be yourself, but don't be a Karen. You can be the Karen. It's fine.
It's like you said, empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy. It's not that hard.
And when I saw him today for a shopping order, like the same dude was there as I walked out, and he said, "Have a good night." And I was like, "Hey man, nothing broken today." And there was a pause, and then he looked at my hat and my mask, and he went, "Hey, that's awesome." And it was the friends we made along the way. He was also a fellow long-haired ginger, so I felt some kinship with him. Like, I think it was an article on, I think it was on HuffPost, but it might not have been. It's like, I don't know, the title of it was, "I don't know how to explain to you that you should care about other people."
You know, it really is fascinating. But when I went to law school, we talked about empathy, and we in just kind of almost a clinical way, and like, hey, you know, what's important for your clients? You know, what is, because you are in a service regulated job. You're in a job where the whole point of your job is to help people, and it's really fascinating how, from a psychological standpoint, there are people in that class that I valued quite a bit. I thought very highly of them. They're very intelligent people. I think they've gone on to do very good things, and they saw empathy as not important. They did not necessarily look down on other people. They, when we're ranking values, what is important to a lawyer, it was a negative value for some of them. It was much more important to be detail oriented. It was much more important to understand how this law works, or whatever, and then you tell the client this is what you need to do. But it was fascinating because, again, these are people that I enjoyed working with, but they did not see empathy as a necessary trait, and I respect them. I disagree with them about that, but I think that says more about us and our personality than, oh, I'm right and they're wrong. um but I think this was also in 2008 to 2010. Not to say that we were living in medieval times, but I wonder if those values would be different now. I don't know. So it's 10:30, and I need to take some drugs.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah,
hey
that
Brian,
part
don't
will
forget
be
your
taken out
steroids.
of-
I was supposed to
this
remind
part
you
will be
about
t-
medicine, and then I was supposed to remind Chewie about something.
Mine was more memorable. I laughed when you set that alarm for 10:30. I was like, you think I'm gonna be awake at 10:30? But here we are. But we also started late.
Chewie's, was yours about laundry or something?
No,
else?
it was to remind me to do dishes after the show.
Oh, okay, that's kind of like laundry.
That is sure.
It is. It's like clothes for your food. No, I'm sorry. That was a stretch even for me. I'm gonna need to go because I do need to take my medicine, and I'm probably not coming back.
Oh.
But any
Okay,
last
I'm
thoughts
sorry.
about
I was
Christmas?
dying that whole time. What did I just miss?
I just said any last thoughts. I mean, you guys can keep going if you want when I'm getting off. I don't know if Dark's staying awake, but okay. Well, let me just say, regardless of your beliefs, regardless of your affiliations, I hope that everyone here has a good holiday, because there are other holidays this season too. I will purposely tell everyone happy holidays, and not to be a jerk about, but just to recognize there are other holidays. But everyone has a happy holiday. I hope that you are able to
Oh
be in a
God, we
good
forgot to make
place.
fun of the war on Christmas.
Next year. Gotta save something for next year. You mean the war that doesn't actually exist?
Yeah,
One of
that's the one.
many
Yeah,
wars, like critical race theory and all that. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. But I hope everyone is healthy. I hope everyone that's listening is safe, and I hope, kind of like Chewie said about, you never know exactly what somebody else has gone through, especially a retail person or someone else. You never know exactly what somebody else has going through, and if you can just give someone a smile and tell them thank you for something or whatever, or give them a better tip to a door dasher who spends 2 hours getting your stuff, whatever you can do, if you can make somebody else's day a little better, I hope that you choose to do that. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, and I will see everyone in the new year.
Oh yeah, because we're not doing a show next week, so this is the final episode of 2022.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Night, B.
Night.
Enjoy your
I'm gonna take some
steroids.
drugs. I will.
And I will also be stepping off. I've got a very loaded schedule for myself tomorrow. So, hope everyone has a wonderful couple days of holidays. And as Brian said, I will see everybody in the new year. Have a good night, everybody.
Night, Zerk.
Good night, Dirk.
I gotta wake my computer up.
Do what?
I have to wake my computer up.
Just gotta get through the screensaver to hang up.
Bye, guys.
Damn. Dirk
Bye.
falling asleep, his computer falling asleep, everybody's falling asleep.
Pretty much.
Infinius said Brian suspended from the Manipool podcast after testing positive for PEDs. What? Performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, what's a PEDs? Yeah, he's it's for his respiratory thing he's got going on. But yeah, real quick, there is no war on Christmas. Anyone who tells you there's a war on Christmas is trying desperately to get you on their side for other things.
Yeah.
When people say happy holidays or they have an office holiday party instead of an office Christmas party, it's not because they're trying to erase Christmas. They don't hate Christians. At this point, Christians have very little to do with Christmas in the wider view of things. It's because there are people who do something other than Christmas. Like, my neighbors, one up and one over, are Jewish. So I'm not going to tell them Merry Christmas, because that's a dick move. And rule 2 is don't be a dick. I make it a point whenever I see them around this time of year to be like, hey, man, happy Hanukkah. And he always seems to appreciate it. He's like, thank you, Chewie. I'm like, you're welcome, man. You're still ugly and sexy, though. Because he and I have that kind of relationship. But it's weird. His name is Mike, too. Damn, that's eerie. But yeah, I forget how many different holidays there are between like the end of November and the end of January or the end of December. But it's in the teens, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. And just because Christmas might be the default for you, I mean, we're doing a Christmas episode because that's what the four of us do. Like, if we were Jewish, we'd be doing a Hanukkah episode. We just would. Like, but yeah, no one's trying to erase Christmas. Shut up. That's stupid. You're stupid. That might come across as a little harsh, but the type of people who would say that need the harshness. And if you're one of those people, maybe think about some of your life choices. But if you're one of those people, you don't listen to my show.
Yeah, you would have given up a while ago.
Yeah, like a long time ago. Although, if there was going to be a war on Christmas, we would have to try to figure out how to take out the gingerbread men first. Because you can't catch them.
No.
Yeah. The gingerbread man infantry is dangerous. Apparently, if you threaten their gumdrop buttons, though, they fold. Learning military strategy from Shrek. Not love my gumdrop buttons. Anyway. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed us rambling about what we do at Christmas. Let us know your opinions on basically any of this, in the Discord or in the comments on YouTube or wherever. Stuff you do at Christmas or when you open presents, or if you're wrong and think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, or if you're wrong and don't think The Muppets Christmas Carol is the best Christmas thing that ever has Christmased. Or if you've lost Whamageddon. I'm still alive. Which is good, but I'm also annoyed because I really like that song. So yeah, just, leave us a comment. Let us know. Yeah. I guess I should do the Patreon thing, huh, Mike?
Yeah, go for it.
You got any Christmassy final thoughts while I look this up?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the last few years haven't felt quite right because a lot of my habits and traditions have been just kind of wrecked by external circumstances. Hopefully next year I'll be able to get back into the regular rhythm of the Christmas season. But yeah, this still didn't feel the same this year.
I mean, I feel
as it
like
used to.
I feel like I should point out that today is March 1026th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Christmas 2020, not only was it Christmas 2020, but that was also like, in early December, that was when Dad was in that accident. So, gosh, that was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe next year it'll get back to feeling more normal.
Let's hope so. So, all right. As always, you can go to patreon.com/themanapool. Help support what I do here with all of the content creation, which has admittedly sort of been lax for the last, month. Part of that is because I'm learning a new video editing software, which means I've suspended all activities for videos until I figure out how to do it in the new program. And partially because I'm trying to get caught up on the odds and ends. It's in sight. We're caught up on the current ones. And for the older ones that I had skipped over, at least the first step has been taken on all of those. And I think right around half of them are ready for me to listen through. So, sometime in the near future, I'm hoping by the end of January, because I'm not going to shotgun these out. I'm going to, schedule them out one per day once I do start listening through them. I'll be caught up on odds and ends for the first time ever. Oh, that'll be a beautiful thing. But yeah, so feel free to throw extra money at me. Because one, you can get just a stupid amount of behind the scenes nonsense of us talking about random nonsense and setting up the show and discussing just whatever comes to mind. And also, because you love me and you want me to be able to pay bills. So, let me thank our mythic lifeguards, as I do every week, or episode, that's the word, in, this order. So thank you to Connor Kennedy, Violet Moon, Al, Team You Hellas Are You, The Beast Father Aaron Goodwine, Scuzzo, Mike, Pinball Witch, John Parker, Andrew Odie, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jake Jansons, Mr. Dr. Lewis, Jason Doan, Andrew Hunt, Kim Ho, Cody Buckowing, and ALK Alters. Yay. Oh, and Infinius threw 100 bits. Thanks, buddy.
Cool.
Said, well, you said to. Said to what? Oh, throw money. Haha, I see what you did there. And yeah, believe it or not, Mr. I Hate Christmas, me, this episode was my idea. Right? Wasn't this my... Yeah, this was my idea.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't say anything, so I was like, am I lying?
I was stopping to think.
Was this Brian's idea? I know it wasn't Dirk's idea, because Dirk comes up with, like, crazy stuff that involves homework. Anyway. So, yes, to all of you listening that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. To all of you who celebrate something else or nothing at all, happy holidays, or, I guess, winter solstice. That's today, isn't it? Or was it yesterday?
I think winter solstice was yesterday.
Yeah.
Ashley wished me a happy winter solstice. She pays attention to that kind of stuff.
Nice. Or like happy Saturnalia, if you want to go way back. Whatever it is. I hope you enjoy this late December holiday period. And be good to each other. And that's pretty much it. So thank you all so very much for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you next year.